The Bates family fandom is in full detective mode right now because three seemingly sweet updates have suddenly turned into one big wave of buzz, speculation, and non-stop chatter. First up, Warden Bates may have just hard launched a brand new romance without ever needing to say the words. One polished Charleston photo set, one smiling pose with Kaybrie, and a flood of supportive comments from Bates family members were all it's up for fans to start asking the big question. Is this just a cute relationship reveal or the beginning of a much bigger Bates love story? Meanwhile, Carlin Bates Stewart may have stirred the pot in an even bigger way. In what looked like a simple sponsored post, she casually mentioned welcoming a sixth sister-in-law into the family, and that one line sent viewers straight into investigation mode. Now fans are analyzing initials, counting siblings, and trying to figure out whether a secret engagement is already happening behind the scenes. Was this a harmless comment? Or did Carlin just accidentally reveal the next Bates wedding before the official announcement? Next, Katie Bates Clark reminded everyone that not every viral family moment has to be dramatic to get attention. Her sweet Easter cupcake reel with her little ones may have looked like a simple holiday ad on the surface, but fans absolutely ate it up. Between the toddler giggles, the cozy kitchen setting, and family members flooding the comments, viewers are calling it one of her most heart-melting motherhood moments yet. So in one stretch of updates, we've got a possible relationship debut, a possible engagement clue, and a wholesome family reel that still managed to get people talking. That's the magic of this family. Even their softest social media moments can turn into major fan conversation. If you love keeping up with every Bates family twist, every hidden clue, and every sweet but suspicious update, make sure you like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. And now, let's start with Warden Bates and the relationship post that has everyone talking. If you thought the Bates family was having a quiet week, think again, because three different updates have fans talking for three very different reasons. One possible new romance, one possible hidden engagement clue, and one sweet family moment that somehow still turned into a major conversation. And honestly, this is exactly why Bates family followers never look away for too long. Even the softest posts can end up creating the loudest buzz. Let's start with Warden Bates, because his latest post has fans convinced that this was not just another casual upload. The minute those Charleston photos with Kaybrie hit social media, people immediately started reading them as something much bigger. It was the setting, the polished look, the matching tones, the way they posed together, and the fact that nothing about it felt random. This looked intentional. It looked curated. And to a lot of viewers, it looked like a relationship reveal without needing to spell it out. That is exactly what makes posts like this so powerful in a family like the Bates. They do not always have to make a huge dramatic statement. Sometimes all it takes is one carefully chosen photo set, and suddenly the entire fandom is doing detective work. People were zooming in on the body language, the styling, the location, and of course, the comment section. Because once family members started reacting, the whole thing seemed to shift from maybe to probably. And that family reaction is a huge part of why this post got so much traction. When siblings like Carlin, Josie, Ellie, and others start leaving heart emojis and supportive comments, fans do not see that as meaningless. They see it as approval. They see it as a signal that this girl is already being welcomed into the circle. In Bates family fandom language, that matters a lot. So now people are asking the obvious questions. How long has this been going on? Was this relationship quietly developing behind the scenes before fans knew anything? Is this just a sweet public debut? Or is Warden entering a much more serious chapter of his life? And because this is the Bates family, once those questions begin, the speculation spreads fast. Some viewers are focused on how natural and happy the two looked together. Others are already wondering whether this is the kind of relationship that could move quickly. That is another reason the buzz has gotten so intense. In this family, courtships, engagements, and weddings have often moved at a pace that keeps followers on constant alert, so a simple romantic photo post is never really just a simple romantic photo post. It becomes the first breadcrumb in what fans think might become a much bigger story. At the same time, there's also a broader conversation happening underneath all of this. A lot of people pointed out how modern, relaxed, and image-conscious the whole post felt. That sparked another familiar debate about how much the younger Bates siblings are changing the public image of the family. For longtime followers, every new relationship becomes a chance to compare the old Bates standards with the newer, more social media-savvy generation. So even when the post itself looks sweet and uncomplicated, the reaction around it becomes layered very quickly. And maybe that's what makes this such an effective moment. Warden didn't need to explain anything. He didn't need a long caption or some grand statement. The photos did the work. The family comments added fuel, and the fans took it from there. That's how a soft launch becomes a headline in this world. But just when fans were busy analyzing Warden's possible new romance, Carlin Bates Stewart may have dropped an entirely different kind of clue. And this one has people wondering whether the next Bates engagement is already closer than anyone expected. In what could have been just a cheerful, sponsored moment, Carlin casually mentioned welcoming a sixth sister-in-law into the family, and that one line sent Bates fans off to the races, because that's not the kind of phrase people just hear and move on from. That's the kind of phrase that sends an entire fandom into counting mode, clue hunting mode, and comment section investigation mode. What made this even interesting is that Carlin didn't present it like some giant reveal. She said it with excitement, almost like this was already emotionally real to her, even if it hadn't been formally announced yet. That's exactly why people are treating it for more than a throwaway line. To viewers, it sounded like a real piece of family news accidentally wrapped inside a branded post. And then came the initials. Fans quickly noticed the custom details in the bridal-style gift basket and immediately started trying to match those clues to one of the Bates sons. Before long, one theory began to dominate: Isaiah Bates and Sydney. Not everyone agreed, of course. Some initially thought Warden might be the one being hinted at. Others admitted they were confused. But the more people started piecing the clues together, the more Isaiah and Sydney became the leading guess. And this is where Bates fandom really shines in the most dramatic way possible. Give them one phrase, one monogram, and one family comment, and suddenly they can build an entire theory in real time. Some viewers said the initials were obvious. Others pointed out that the Bates family has teased things subtly before. Still others argued that Carlin probably knew exactly what she was doing and wanted to stir excitement without fully confirming anything. Honestly, that idea is not hard to believe. This family has a history of letting little hints slip before major announcements. A sibling says just enough, a caption seems slightly too specific, a family photo raises more questions than it answers, and then, a few days or weeks later, the official announcement arrives, and fans look back at the post like it was a flashing billboard the whole time. That's why this story has so much momentum right now. It's not only about whether a new sister-in-law is coming. Most fans seem to think that part is already likely. The real mystery is who she is and when the family plans to make it official. Was Carlin simply being sweet and unintentionally revealing too much? Or was this a calculated soft tease designed to build anticipation? Either way, it worked. Because now every Bates watcher is looking everywhere for the next clue. They're watching stories, scanning captions, checking who's liking what, and revisiting old rumors to see which relationship makes the most sense. One small line in a cheerful video has now turned into a full-blown wedding watch. And what's so fascinating about this moment is that it's not scandalous, it's not messy, it's not built on conflict, it's built on curiosity. But sometimes curiosity is all this family needs. In fact, a subtle Bates family tease may be even more effective than a dramatic announcement because it invites everyone into the guessing game. And once viewers feel like they're solving a mystery, they get even more invested. So now the Bates family may have two separate relationship storylines heating up at the exact same time. Warden's romantic photo set has fans wondering whether his relationship is entering a serious phase, and Carlin's mysterious comments have people convinced another Bates son could be heading toward marriage. That alone would be enough to keep followers talking. But then there is Kaybrie Bates Clark, who brought a completely different kind of energy to the week. No mystery, no romantic speculation, no secret clues. Just toddlers, cupcakes, Easter fun, and a family moment so sweet that fans could not stop talking about it. Katie's Easter reel looked simple on the surface. She was in the kitchen with her little ones, making surprise-themed cupcakes and leaning into that cozy holiday feeling. But what made the video stand out was how natural it felt. It did not come across like a stiff ad or an overly polished influencer moment. It felt like the kind of family memory viewers instantly recognized and connected with. That is probably why the response was so warm. People were not just reacting to the cupcakes. They were reacting to the laughter, the tiny moments between Katie and the kids, and the overall feeling that she was capturing something real. Followers kept pointing out how adorable the children were, how patient Katie seemed, and how fast these little milestone moments pass when kids are still so young. And once again, the family comments helped amplify the post. Carlin, Josie, and others showed up to gush over the reel, which only added to the feeling that this was one of those universally loved family updates. When the Bates siblings publicly rally around a moment like that, it reinforces the image fans already have of this close-knit family celebrating each other's lives online. What's interesting about Katie's content is that she's clearly building a brand around these soft motherhood moments. She's not just posting random clips. She's shaping a picture of home life that feels warm, organized, family-centered, and emotionally safe. Whether viewers love influencer culture or feel skeptical of it, a lot of people seem to agree on one thing. Katie knows exactly what kind of content resonates with her audience. And in a week filled with clues and speculation, that is probably why her reel landed so well. It gave fans a break from the mystery while still keeping them emotionally invested. It was not a headline because of drama. It became a headline because it made people feel something. That matters too. In fact, that may be one of the most underrated reasons the Bates family keeps pulling viewers back in. It's not only the big events like weddings, relationships, and announcements, it's also the everyday moments that make followers feel like they are watching an ongoing family story unfold in real time. One sibling posts a possible hard launch, another may tease an engagement, another shares a baking reel with toddlers, and somehow all of it becomes part of the same larger narrative. That is what this week really showed. The Bates family does not need one giant scandal to dominate the conversation. They can do it with layered little moments that each hit a different note. Warden brought the romance and the curiosity. Carlin brought the clue-dropping and the fan theories. Katie brought the comfort and the sweetness. And together, those three stories created the kind of online buzz that keeps this fandom fully locked in. So now, all eyes are on what happens next. Will Warden and Kaybrie become even more public? Will Carlin's mystery comment turn out to be the first sign of an actual engagement announcement? Will Katie keep leaning into these cozy, family-centered lifestyle moments that fans clearly love? Right now, every path feels possible, and that's exactly why people are still watching. At the end of the day, this is what Bates family followers do best. They notice the details, they compare the clues, they celebrate the sweet moments, and they turn even the quietest update into a conversation. One family, 3 posts, and suddenly the internet has romance rumors, wedding theories, and Easter cupcake feelings all happening at once. And honestly, that is peak Bates family chaos in the softest possible form. So now, I want to hear from you. Do you think Warden's post was a true relationship hard launch? Do you think Carlin accidentally hinted at Isaiah and Sydney? Or is the fandom connecting dots that are not really there? And was Katie's Easter reel one of the sweetest Bates family moments we have seen in a while? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And if you love keeping up with every Bates clue, update, and family twist, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss what happens next.